named for a former member of ours, Ray Farrell, who was taken from us at much too young. He was a good umpire. He was a great umpire. He was carded in baseball. He was carded in basketball. He was carded in football. And upon his passing, the association wanted to establish an award in his honor. And in doing so, they set a criteria that Ray worked by: integrity, pride, enthusiasm, and hustle. Well, when you look at our membership, when you look at both sides, I understand I'm from the baseball side, but there's a name that jumped out at me, and I said, this guy exhibits on a daily basis integrity, pride, enthusiasm, and hustle. If you've ever watched Ed work, you know it. You know it. I have, as an assigner, I get requests. I get requests from coaches, the people that they don't want to see and people that they do want to see. And Ed's name is at the top of everybody's list. And even all the hard ones, all the difficult guys. The good list. The good list. The difficult guys. They want to see him. They want to see him every day. You name it. I don't want to name names. You name them. They want to see Ed. He can handle the game, without a doubt. It got so bad this year, one of our high maintenance coaches was asking for him. And I sent Ed there about 3 times in a very short period of time, and I said to him, you know, I think maybe the two of you need to pick out furniture. He got through those games, and he can still go back there. They're friends, and he got through it. You know, with these two guys, with Ed and Hank, you know, if there was a baseball game between the Hatfields and the McCoys, I'd hope these two guys would work the game. They'd get through it. I know they'd get through it. Based on their people skills and game management. They might still be at the 101 2 days later.
Oh,
but they'd get
yeah.
through it, without a doubt. Again, Ed is a guy who has worked everything we have to offer. State semifinals, state finals, county semifinals, county finals. As an assigner, I'll take the hit. I'll admit it. I see his name and he's open, and I give him the game, and he's probably on the plane. And if you need a pair of base shoes, lightly used, talk to Ed, because he's got a pair for sale. They're in pretty good shape. Okay? One of the things that I wanted to bring up was that, you know, it's not part of the criteria of the Farragut Award, but dedication and passion are something that is very important in Ed's whole persona, his characteristics, something maybe you don't know. For a living, Ed's a letter carrier for the United States Postal Service. And his employment contract says that he should stay at work until 4 o'clock every single day. But as we all know, our games start at 4 o'clock. Sometimes, if we're lucky.
Put them to 4:30.
Every single day that Ed works, he takes between a half hour and an hour or an hour and a half of vacation time, depending on where he has to get. Just to work varsity baseball. That's dedication. Not all of us would do that. So that at the end of the baseball season, he has spent the better part or more than a week of vacation that he could have taken with his family. But no, he takes it so that he can come and work varsity baseball games. That's dedication. That's passion. I don't care how you slice it. That's exactly what it is. And not many of you may know about the Whack Pack. The Whack Pack is a group of our officials, veteran, varying ages of experience, and they have this group text thing. So when they finish their games, they text each other, they give each other a hard time. You know, what happened here, what happened there, who screwed up, who did this guy was a jerk, that guy wasn't, you know. And that's a charter member of the Whack Pack. He started this thing. So not only does he leave work early, work his game as good as anybody can, but then he goes and he texts with all these knuckleheads about what went on. Or if it's a Thursday, and there aren't a whole lot of games, and I've sent them to somewhere, right, thank you. You know, he'll talk about the dog with hair that I sent him to, that he had to work with, somebody, So he's passionate about it. Not only can he work, but he's passionate about it, and things go hand in hand. It's very refreshing. It's very refreshing. He's a great umpire. He's a great guy. After the game, he'll sit behind the car and you can talk for hours with him. I could talk for hours about him tonight. But it's my pleasure to present to you Ed Ahern, our 2016 Ray Fire Award winner.
Good boy, Eddie!
I'm not going to talk for hours more. There's an open bar back there and me up here. It makes no sense. All right, this really means a lot to me because it's coming from you guys. My fellow umpires voted on it, and that really means a lot. The definition of the Ray Farraker, like Joe had said, is an umpire who displays integrity, pride, enthusiasm, and hustle. There's a lot of guys in this room who display that criteria. And for you guys to vote for me for that, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really never had any ambition to get into umpiring when I was playing in the Met League and running my own team and Mutual and stuff. And the late Pete Amoruso came up to me one day and said, well, like the guys who know Pete, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Pete came to me one day and said, Eddie, what the puppy are you doing with these guys? Like, I'm watching these 19, 20-year-old kids show up when they felt like it and stuff, and here I am looking up the hill to see who's going to show up and who's not going to show up. And he says, just stop. Knock it off. Get into umpiring. Stay on the field. You love baseball. Stay with the game. And that's what I wound up doing. I took the class with Eddie Strohmeyer his last year, and I'm forever grateful that Pete Amoruso stepped up to me that day and asked me to become an umpire. I took the class, and my mentor was Wayne Briggs. I peppered Wayne Briggs every other day with questions about rules and situations and all kinds of stuff, and he never turned down my calls or my texts. He probably got really annoyed that I called him after every other game, but he was there for me. Wayne, I appreciate it. Thank you. My first summer, I took games from every possible horrendous baseball I could possibly do. Bruce gave me some games on these Sundays with these men's league, which was phenomenal. Thank you. Gary Hammer, Greg Heim, Wayne, that Hawthorne league, that was phenomenal. Thanks. So I did a lot of those my first year, and I just love doing baseball. My first varsity year, Peter Z. I haven't had the opportunity to thank Peter for sending me to guys like Primo and Timmy Byron and Chesney, because they all love seeing a rookie umpire show up on the field, but so I thank you for that, Peter. So my first couple of years, guys who helped me out big time with my mechanics and my game. I had no idea about umpiring. When I was like I said, I played and I coached and stuff, and my whole job was to abuse umpires. Guys in the Met League and the usual, like Bruce and Mark Mundy when he came and showed up with Jack and Joe Bruno and those guys. My whole job was just to defend my players and beat the hell out of those guys. So I knew nothing about mechanics or game management or anything like that. And guys like Freddie Pino was a big influence on me, and Joe Bruno and Carlos Guzman and Hank Teal and Ray Skoll and Bruce. And for the guys who are just starting out, everyone, you do a game, and what's the first thing you do when you come with a game? Hey, nice job, see you down the road. Work a game with Joe Bruno. You get back to the car after the game with Joe Bruno, and he'll tell you exactly what you did wrong in the second inning, the third inning, the fourth inning, the fifth inning, the sixth inning. And then he'll give you that big Joe Bruno cackle laugh and say, let's go for a beer. So guys like that helped me out big time when I was just starting out, and I really appreciate what those guys did for me. Greg Bailey for giving me, the games that he gives me, and thankfully not sending me to West Milford. Or actually making me decline the game, sending me to West Milford. Joe Belger brought it up, the clowns at Table 6, who are also known as the Whack Pack. We have this psychotic group of guys that we do nothing but break chops on each other all day, and most of it's about my friendship with Coach Flanagan at Riverdale, or where Kilmary's going today and what's going to happen with his game. It's basically stuff like that, or actually, how angry Ray Skoll's going to be if I was working with him that day. We understand we're not splitting atoms, we're not curing diseases or anything like that. We're high school baseball umpires. But when we're between the lines, we take it seriously. When we're outside the lines, we have fun with it. That's what we do. We're grown men and we're very, very immature. We get it. Actually, as a matter of fact, the highlight of our season this year, sad to say, was we're sitting in the back room at Mrs. Teal's wake. And we all come from our games and we're sitting in the back room, and a woman walks into the back of the room and she says, I'm going to go sit with the umpires. We're all sitting in our shorts and flip-flops and whatnot, t-shirts. And she comes back and she says, I'm going to sit with the umpires. She says, my husband's an umpire. Well, one of the fascinations with the Whack Pack is Ray Skoll and his mindset. So this woman sits down, she says, I'm Ray Skoll's wife. You would have thought she told us we're giving you $10 million. We could not have been more happy to have this woman sit down. We had so many questions for her. So I stepped up and I said, I have one question for you, man. Does he call you coach? And that's all the Whack Pack wanted to know. Does this woman get called coach at home? And she said, no, that's really just a tribute to Jack Benkin. But we had so many other questions, like, is he always that angry? Does he tell you how bad high school baseball is every day he gets home? But see, that's what we do. We're the Whack Pack, and we have shirts made up, and we're a bunch of morons, and I get it. So that was that. My final thank you, and the one who's done the most for me is the one who I asked to present me, and that is Joe Belger. Nobody's done more for me the past few years than Joe. From having the confidence in me to put me on big games, county finals, recommending me for a state final, of course, on the plate. To taking my calls and texts after almost every other game about a situation I had, not many issues, but just I bounce things off with Joe like this, every other day, and he answers every single call for me, and we talk, and we bounce things off each other, and I'd be lost without him. If I ever have any scheduling issues, like I said, I take 45 minutes, basically a vacation day, which my wife is not so happy about. But I take 45 minutes a day to go work a high school baseball game. He said it's dedication. Everyone else, including myself, thinks I'm a moron. But he works with me with that. I know if I need advice on anything or need to work out an issue, I can call Joe or text him anytime. And that's what he does for me. So when John Goydich called me and told me I won this award, my first reaction was amazement, and my second was, can I have Joe Belger present me? So for that, thank you, Joe. And I thank you guys again for voting for me for this award. It really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Good boy,